Chilling in the icebox. We got a lot to say. Chilling in the icebox. We've missed you today.
Hey!
What's up,
Gorgeous,
guys?
gorgeous. Welcome, everyone. Chilling in the icebox.
We're back. It's been a minute. We've
And it's still a
been
freaking
sick.
icebox, dude. Where is the sun?
Dude, you don't even want to know what
I
it's like
know,
here.
I know. I'm complaining and you have it way worse.
We
Like it's
are
bad here.
miserable. I was like looking, you know how you like go back and you like memories pop
Yeah,
up or
in
whatever,
your
like on your phone.
phone.
Um, it was a solid 70 degrees last year, yes, on yesterday's day. And I got a sunburn because it was shaving the dogs outside.
Oh, I remember that sunburn.
70 degrees, and yesterday was a high of 32. It was cold.
32.
Today's a high of 35, high of 35, low of 11.
That's disgusting. Okay, I need to stop complaining. It's like 50 something
Um,
here, but it should be like
it should be,
90.
yeah, it should be definitely be in the 70s for sure,
Yeah, high
which means it should be,
70s.
we're always like 20 to 30 degrees colder than you guys.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like dying because we're supposed to go to Vegas. And so I'm like, I was hoping we would go to Vegas and it'd be like 80 and
Cool
like I'd get
weather.
like warmth, and I am not getting that. So there's that.
Okay, well, do you know what your 10 sex is?
Um, my 10 sex is going to lead into the whole topic.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was hoping that that was yeah, because if it wasn't, that was gonna be my 10 sex.
Okay.
Okay, so my 10 sex is I don't even know. I have a couple things I was gonna say for 10 sex. The first thing I wanted to mention for 10 sex is that did you see the movie that they made about me? The Whale?
No. In Arya's words, stop, stop.
Yeah,
The
I
one,
don't know.
um, I
I'm
haven't
just in a
seen it, but
mood.
dude, I have not seen it, but man, the other day, like I haven't seen the trailer or anything, but it like popped up and I was like, oh well. And it's what's his name? And
Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely bigger.
Yeah, but I mean, for the movie, it was prosthetics.
Well, what is it about? Because I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it. What is the
Well,
whole
it's just I
thing?
don't know either because I also haven't seen it.
It's just your
I
movie. I mean, it's
I just
about
know,
you.
yeah, I just know that it's a story of my life and they cast my twin and
Oh my
no,
God.
I want to watch it. I heard it's very depressing and I know it's like a hot topic for people because it's like really sad. It's about this guy who has like an eating addiction and so he's just like it's essentially like watching a movie about a drug addict, you know, and like watching how somebody with that navigates things like their family and their life and just like it's just a really raw look at it. And I think it's
Do you think that it was like not uh I don't want to say like celebrating it. I guess we have to watch it
no,
and
I
then
don't think it's glorifying it at all.
yeah. Yeah.
At
Okay.
all.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
gonna have it.
it's
We're gonna have to
raw.
watch and then
I
yeah,
think it's
report back.
raw. We should
Um
maybe we should watch it together and do like a reaction. Maybe when you're
okay.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, because that I I'm I had just had a conversation with my client about how um people in general, just myself, everybody, it's hard for us to look in the mirror and face real uncomfortable things about ourselves.
Yes.
Like what is uncomfortable, what is like what is um what is like why am I not succeeding at this, or what is the
Yes.
reason for this failure in my life? And that is such a hard thing to do. And my client was like, well, the problem is like it starts like from a young age of not being held accountable. That was her take on it,
Mm.
which I do believe it to some extent. I do believe, but I also believe that you are a product of your own. So like there
At a
comes a
certain
point,
point, you're not a child
right?
anymore. Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
like yes, it is my responsibility to make sure my children, child, whatever, um, are held accountable, and like when they make a mistake, like okay, like there's consequences and these are actions, and like okay, and why do you keep doing this, and what is the reason that you keep falling short, or what is the reason that this keeps happening? But then at some point you're an adult
Yeah.
and now you are responsible for your life, and
Yeah.
that is hard for people to
It
see.
is hard. It's really hard. And even like, I mean, I brought this whole thing up originally just because like I am in a little bit of like a hate myself era. You know what I mean? Just like where I'm like, I don't know.
I think it's the weather.
I think it could be a lot of things. Like, and I was just sick. Like, I mean, it's just mindset, you know, and like whatever. I don't know. It's just like on my mind. But
Okay.
one other thing for 10 secs, totally unrelated. Um, Today I was one of my clients, Dan, if I don't know if anybody watching this knows, uh,
Dan watches it, right?
I don't think Dan watches it, but but Dan, I wish I used fake names. I should have just said D Money. I'm gonna blur it out and just say D Money. But anyway,
Put a sensor.
I was making him do like reverse burpees, like candlesticks, you know.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Okay, so and then he asked me if I could do that thing where you like lay on the ground and like jump up to like standing on your feet. You know what
Oh,
I'm
like the
talking about?
karate thing? The
Yes.
karate, like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And
Did you
I was
try it?
like, I'm not sure that I could do that. And he said, let's see it, and literally called me out like that on the spot in the middle of the session. So naturally I tried it and I came so close, literally
Did you
so
try how
close.
many times did you try?
I tried it 3 times.
Okay, I was gonna
I
ask. You
got
had
better
to have
every
tried it again.
time. And I have a little bit of whiplash from it right now. But I'm really thinking that if I like study, if I give it a week, if I like kind of try, I think I could get it. I was
Um,
close.
I think you can too. I definitely think you can. You definitely have the like mobility for it. So I think you
Yeah,
could
I
get
think
there.
it's just if I unlock one little technique about it, it'll all just happen. Anyway, that's my challenge for everybody
Dan.
out there. Go
So
try to do that karate get up thing and
did
let
Dan
me
do it or was he even doing reverse
know. No, Dan
burpees?
could Dan could barely do
Don't
the
come
candlestick.
for my friend Dan.
Yeah, no, no,
Find
no.
you.
Dan had he was good at his thing, but it wasn't quite me. He
That's
was
funny. A
impressed.
reverse burpee. Reverse burpees are hard though.
They're
They
hard.
are they are. It does, yeah, it's hard. I I I feel Dan if he couldn't do it. I feel it because it
You
is
got
hard.
there. You got there. Anyway, okay.
But
So, Laura,
the
what's your
big 10
10 sex?
secs. Well, guys, I'm doing the halftime show. I'm just kidding. But I am pregnant with baby number 2.
Everybody
Yay!
knows that baby number 2 is the best baby.
I'm number 2, so this is the best
I'm
one so
number
far.
2 also. And so is my
Although it
friend
didn't
Prince
start
Harold
off that
Markle.
great. Did not start off that great, but um,
Yay, cat's out of the bag.
I know, I know. It's been we've been dying to talk about this.
Oh
There's so
my
many
God. I
things
know.
too.
I can't believe we're finally like free with it.
I know.
So
This is gonna be a good podcast.
oh, it's going to be a great podcast because what we're talking about is pregnant women in athletics, some of our favorite topics, and some of the favorite topics of like Instagram haters. I mean, how many people do you get in your inbox hating on
Oh.
you as like a pregnant mom?
Um, well, I put it out there very fast this time that I didn't want any
Said
unnecessary
no
comments.
opinions, please.
I was
Yeah.
like, if you do it, I will pop off. It's just a little bit this whole time, this whole pregnancy is a little bit different. It's a little
Yes.
bit
Talk
different.
about
It
it.
was
What's
different
different?
from the beginning. I was morning sickness, all day sickness. It was rough. This one was really rough. I did not have that with Aria.
Yeah.
And just being tired. I don't know if morning sickness and being tired was so bad because I was pregnant with Aria during COVID. So we were locked down.
Right.
So when I was pregnant with Aria, we were like locked down and we were doing everything virtual. So it's a little less demanding. Whereas I go to the gym at 6 a.m. Monday
Right.
through Friday.
Right.
I'm there till noon or 1, and then I leave and come back on certain days and go at night. In between that time, I'm taking care of a 2-year-old. So it's like I
It's a
couldn't just like
totally
come
different
home.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't come home and nap. I will say that I could not eat as much as I did with Aria. Like
Like more things
oh,
were making you feel or sick or
yeah, or I just could not just even fathom the thought of putting it in my stomach. Like it was like gross. That and I I had lost actually. I had lost like I think like 7 or 8 pounds in the beginning because I would not eat. I could only
wow.
eat like soup broth or like my mom would make me soup, like
What was there? I was trying to remember if there was anything that made you sick or like that was like repulsive to you when you were
chicken. When I was pregnant with Aria, it
oh,
was
that's
chicken.
right.
This was like everything. Like
Yeah. But it was
I
like
mean,
that same feeling, I remember. I was like,
oh,
there had to have been
yep.
something, I kinda remember that, yeah.
And, like, at least with Aria, like, I could find, like, one thing that was, like sandwiches, like, I would be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay, sandwiches, I could eat sandwiches, sandwiches are good." I could not find one thing, like it was also very different because when I would like, I was able to, like, snack with Aria. When I'm,
right.
like, training people and I have, like, 4 people back to back to back, I felt bad eating while I'm, like,
Yeah,
training them, and then a protein shake isn't gonna survive off of 5 hour, like, so it's like I
right,
have to eat
yeah. The
something
demand
and
on your body is just so different
yeah.
time around.
Workout-wise, though, I felt great. I didn't feel like that was I mean, I always felt best in the morning if I worked out first thing in the morning
Okay,
with
yeah, so
Aria and
how do your
SY.
workouts now feel compared to your, workouts when
Um,
you were pregnant with Aria?
when I was pregnant with Aria, I just didn't know. Like, you're kind of, like, in this, like,
Yeah.
unknown of, like, what feels right,
First
what
one, everything is new, like, yeah,
yeah, like, am I doing it right? Like, I don't know. The second one, you're like, "Okay, I I know, like, what it feels. I know what I'm supposed to feel. I know what I'm not supposed to feel. I know, I just have a better idea of, like, when I'm tired,
yeah,
um, when to take a rest." With Aria, it was, like, hard because we came out of COVID, and it was like I wanted to do every workout with everybody because I loved
right,
I missed, we didn't
right.
have communication with people for, like, I don't
I
know, 3
know, we were
months.
locked away.
So, like, when we finally got I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I wanna do everything with everybody," and it was like, some days I was just freaking tired. Um, although I do feel like I'm working out more this time around,
Well, you're working out
partly
every day
because
at
6 AM.
6:30, right? Or
Mhm.
6? Yeah,
6, yeah. I work out from, like, 6 to 7:30.
yeah,
7:30 is when I take, like, my first client. I try to get done before
yeah, right.
7:30, like, to chill
Yeah,
out and get something to eat.
have a second, yeah.
Um, but
Okay.
yeah, and then, but I mean, I do feel like I'm working out more, but I also feel like I just have no choice. Like, that's the only time I could work out because then I have, like, a full
Right.
day ahead,
Gotta
like,
get it in. But I mean,
so
I mean, for the most part that you were kinda working out at 6 AM with Aria too, right? I mean, I remember pregnant
yeah,
workouts in the park that whole summer, yeah.
yeah, pregnant workouts
And
and
then later
then
at Ron's too, we were working out,
mhm,
right? Yeah.
yeah, 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 I mean, I mean, and then it's a hard conversation that you have to have, like, with yourself. You have to really some days I'm like, I really like today, the workout, the prescribed weight was like 95. And I was like, okay, if I do 95, is my heart rate gonna spike up so high that I'm gonna end up
Yeah,
having to like take a seat in the middle
yeah.
of this workout and wait for my heart
Lose
rate to
the
come back down and
stimulus.
like or if I do like a lower weight, am I gonna just like keep the flow and like finish when
Mhm.
everybody else and like, just cruise through the workout. So I did lighter weight. But that is a hard thing. That's like
Mhm.
it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. And that's the biggest struggle where it's like, I have to like take it back. Like I'm not trying to get my heart rate to like 185 today. Like
Yeah,
um
totally.
but I mean other than that, I try not to put too much stress on my core. Like I'm not doing any pull-ups or toes to bar,
Right.
sit-ups, definitely don't do sit-ups. I still am using like the barbell like for cleans and um I hardly ever do snatches, but, like, definitely I do for, like, hang cleans or whatever.
Mhm.
My belly's not that big yet, so it's, like, fine. But it's coming. I know that I'm gonna it's gonna come soon.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Mm, it's coming. Sometimes I could feel the bar get close. Like, not
Oh,
close as
yeah.
but, like, I could feel like I'm like, "Oh, my stomach is definitely getting a little hefty these days," but, um But yeah, other than that, it's been it's been good. Definitely the first one that you have, you're just way more like, "Oh my gosh, like, I don't know." And then,
Right.
like, taking it back to, like, the hate, like, I didn't know, like, you take everybody's opinion so, like, literal, like
Yeah, you're like, what to believe and
mhm. Somebody says something to you, you're like, "Oh my gosh, like, do I believe that? Like, are they being mean?" Like, I
yeah,
don't
and if I
know.
ignore
Now I'm
it and
like
something happens, am I gonna regret? Like, just
yep.
it's just a dangerous it's like no, yeah, it's not fun, but it's so much better after, like, you've been there once before and, like, you know the drill, you know how it feels, like, you know how it shouldn't feel, like you said, that's a big one, like, knowing what's okay and what's not okay is, like, a whole total
The
edge when
and
you
then
can
it's
just
just
wish.
like I have to reality check, like, am I training
Yeah.
for a competition or am I training because I'm trying to stay healthy throughout this pregnancy
Right.
and like maintain strength?
Yeah.
Or maybe even like some days I'm like, I'm just gonna work my form. Like
Right.
today's
For
just
you
about
and
form.
for the
Like,
baby. And so pregnant women in fitness is actually trending right now because some of the big ones
sure
are
is.
doing it too.
It
And
sure is.
we want to talk about that a little bit on the podcast today. So, speaking of
Mm.
ways that you scale your workouts, let's talk about someone who doesn't seem to be like, I mean, okay, listen, she puts out a lot of content and I haven't looked at all of it, but our girl, TCT, Tia Claire
There
Toomey,
to
is
me.
out here, in my never to be humble opinion, flexing in all the wrong ways, just cringe factor 5,000. And Laura, what do you
Oh God.
think?
Get ready, people. I'm just kidding. Let me
Buckle
pull out
up.
my list. um, well, and just like for starters, like as I have had, I'm not gonna call anybody out, but I've had people send me her like stories or whatever of her working out with her
Yeah.
like belly and like doing toes to bar or whatever. And they're like, oh my gosh, she's a boss. And I'm like, okay, you don't know what you don't know. Maybe they don't know like the things that I could see in this video.
No.
Um, and also it does look cool. Like,
Yeah.
she's pregnant, big belly doing things that she was doing when she was um not pregnant and
Yeah.
still placing high in the CrossFit Open and all that. So like that is, I guess, at some way like a flex.
Yeah.
Um, but to me, it is not. It's just not worth it. Like,
It's the wrong flex. It's like
yeah, yeah,
she could have flexed in a lot of ways, and I wish she had chose a different one.
yeah, and it makes me very upset because as like a person that I loved her. Like I was like, oh my gosh, she's like the boss. She's the queen. Like she's, her form was always pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
like for the most part, she always had pretty good form. She's consistent. Like I loved her. And I would have loved to see the raw mom in all of this. Like
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or like maybe this is too much, or maybe I should scale a little bit more, or maybe I should be more considerate of my child or my body and how
Yeah.
this might affect me after. Because pregnancy is one thing. There are like a lot of changes that happen during pregnancy, but then like the coming back part after is like a whole, like what you do during pregnancy affects how you come back after too.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and especially like the whole like diastasis recti situation. I think I said it right.
mhm,
Which is
mhm.
like where your abs split, right?
Yeah, yeah, it
Like,
happens anyway without working out.
right, yeah, and you're when you're coning, like, she is a very clearly doing almost every time she does one of these very impressive workouts. Is she not, like, setting herself up to have, like, the Annie Thor's daughter, like, line down the center of her abs for the rest of her life? Like,
Yeah, and it is so this is like where it gets like medical. We're
no
like,
shade to Annie Thor's daughter, I mean, she is also, like, border like, I'm sad, I don't wanna talk like, these girls are
I
cool, but also,
know,
like,
I
and
know,
I would
I
tell them
know.
this to their face if they ever asked me. So I guess
Sometimes if they didn't ask me, I would tell them maybe if I wasn't pregnant though, because I got to be ready. You gotta dish
to
it.
throw
You gotta
hands
be
just in
ready to
case.
take it.
We could just
But
have
if I'm
Gabe
not
there.
pregnant, yeah, if I wasn't pregnant, then I'd be ready to take it. But also,
Well, and that's exactly it, right? It's like when you're pregnant, you wanna make sure that you're doing everything that is best for you, but, like, for the baby, like, what's
yeah,
gonna be the very best way for me to, like, usher this life into the world without I don't need to be making statements about, like, what I can do while I'm pregnant. It's like, how about I could just work out and stay healthy and bring a perfect, like, hopefully
yeah,
healthy baby into the world, and then pick up where I left off with my
that
own
is it.
personal goals.
That is it.
Yeah.
Mainly like a lot of the times when I post, um, like my workouts, it's mainly like one because I'm sure. I mean, I don't have like millions of followers, but I do have followers, and maybe like one person's like, "Oh, cool, I'm pregnant. Like, I want to do this workout," or like that was a cool scaling option, because some of the stuff that I scale is not just for pregnant. I give this to, like, my regular people too, some of my clients, like,
Yep.
um, or some of my moms that have had babies and are just starting to come back, like, this is so the scaling options are not
Well, and
just
the
because you're
here the big
pregnant.
gag is that all the things that you work on in terms of, like, the core for, like, the diastasis recti situation, I have fucking big news flash for people. It is not only pregnant ladies, not pregnant people, pregnant women,
Late
pregnant mothers who, should be worried about this. It is literally every single human person. Like, almost nobody knows how to engage their core properly. Nobody knows how to support that, like, inwardness. It is always worth working on. Like, you could take 9 months of pregnancy and work on that exclusively. You could take 9 months of your normal training as a man and work the same thing and get
Yeah,
incredible improvements and results. So it's like, you could be using all of this to your advantage, but instead you wanna put yourself coning, doing pull-ups on the internet for the peons doing CrossFit to then emulate and then go to the chiropractor and then get cortisone shots and then have
yes.
I mean, I'm just saying.
It is that. It is that. It's like now you're causing a whole. And this is the problem that I have with CrossFit in general. Like
It's so
it,
CrossFit.
it, yes.
It is so
Um,
CrossFit.
it's like a flex, which it is cool. I mean, like I'm not gonna lie. Like I've done CrossFit competitions. I've been in shape, and it is cool. I love posting myself when I'm in the best shape of my life,
It's
and
fun to
like
flex. It's a
yeah.
great feeling to be the best. Everybody loves
And
being the best.
but like I said, you have to take a step back. And right now, this is my best at where I'm at, and it might be a couple few pounds heavier. And like I'm not doing toes to bar anymore. I'm doing the weird dolphin planks, but it is literally the short. It goes by so fast. Like
Yeah,
it does. It goes by so fast. And 9 months of your life of modifying is really not that long. It goes
yeah,
by so fast, and at the end of the day, like, what's more important? Like, this weird flex to the world
right.
or your health and the
Yeah,
baby's health?
yeah.
And I personally, as, like, a Tia fan at one point, because I have really I mean, like, I don't hate her, but it's just, like, really has put, like, a really bad taste in my mouth now. Um, I am just very disappointed in, like, her whole approach to pregnancy. She could have just shed so much light on these, like, moms and, like, the way she, like, posts she's like, "Oh, like, modify accordingly." Like, okay, that's great, but, like, you're not giving any modification options to anybody, and
Yeah.
you are not showing, like, the real and, yeah, I mean, maybe that is her modification and she's just doing full send and that's great, but, like, it does not to me, is not worth it in any way, and it does not look great. It's not a good look for somebody who knows
No. The
that
thing that
that is
really turned
happening.
me off was when she was, like, posting about how she was gonna do all listen, like I said, I didn't actually watch anything. All I know is, like, from the clickbait, like, titles that, like, I saw, she posted something that was like, she was still doing all of the quarterfinals workouts or something so that her team had the best possible chances of, like, I guess, like, even if she's not on the team, if she's, like, one of the alternates and gets, like, a good score, it, like, helps them, and she's, like, even pregnant, so much fitter than the average team member that, like, she could do this and still be, like, helping her team, and it's like, I would never wish ill will on Tia Claire Toomey's perfect angel baby.
Yeah.
But if I were pregnant with my perfect angel baby and something, God forbid, happened to it and but my team got to quarterfinals, like, fuck that. That's some hate
Yeah.
myself shit right there.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, like, when you become a mom, you are, like your life is just totally different, and literally from the moment that I found out that I was pregnant, it was like, "Okay, like, no, I can no longer do this, or there's gonna come a time where I'm not doing sit-ups anymore, and there's gonna come a time, like" and it's okay, like, it's
Yeah.
okay. When I was pregnant with Arya, it was really hard to, like, be like, "Okay," like but then also you get to a point where your belly's really huge and it's like, yeah,
Okay.
like, yeah, I have no choice. I am now Winnie the Pooh. Cut to the picture of me at the Summerlin Slasher as Winnie the Pooh. Um, but, like, you're just so selfless in that way, like I said, like, my goal is to move and just keep my heart rate at a consistent pace, and if I can't do that, then why am I gonna do box jumps? Because I know without being pregnant, box jumps will spike my heart rate, like,
Yeah.
I know that. I know that when I do pull-ups anyway, without being pregnant, it puts a lot of strain on my core. I could feel it. I
Yeah.
could just feel it.
Oh my god.
So,
Pull-ups are, like, one of the major core exercises, like, you
yeah,
cannot do pull-ups without your core. You cannot.
and I have to think I'm one of those people that I have to think about my core when I do I
Yep.
can't just jump up there and be like, I am thinking about little things like that, that I know that the average person that's watching her story is not thinking about.
Mm-mm.
She ain't even thinking about it.
No, because she's
Was, she
thinking.
wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Or she wouldn't be
But it's just
coning. If she could do it
yeah,
without coning, I'd be like, "You know what? Go Tia, do live your life,"
yeah,
but the evidence that you're not doing this properly is right there.
yeah, and coding is it's, such a hard, like, it's hard to it's not impossible, but it is hard to fix, and like I was saying, medically, they'll tell you, like, "You need surgery," and
Of
blah, 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 and
course.
the regular person's gonna be like,
Of
"Oh,
course.
I need surgery for them to stitch my abs back together and
I
bring
know.
them closer," where it's like, "No, but now you have to do extra work," and I know after I had Arya, I had to do extra I just my torso is very short. I'm not I got gifted
Yeah.
with the long legs, all 5'3" of me, but my torso is
You
short.
have tall
So when
energy. You act
I
5'10".
know, that's what I'm saying, it's all legs. 5'9" of legs and then the little torso that I have, but, like, all my core, I was big, my belly was big, and so, like, that separation happens because
Mhm.
it just does, your belly grows and whatever. So after I had Aria, I spent so much time just working on my core,
Yep, I
and it
remember that.
sucks. It sucks. Nobody wants to do dead bugs forever, like,
Well,
and
no,
to
and
this
and
day
it's like you were saying, it's hard in the sense that it's like I think it's very difficult to make the, like, mind muscle connection and, like, maintain
yeah.
it, and, like, it's really, really, like, challenging for real.
The really cool thing that I've been doing instead of toast to bar lately is I'll take a band and put it around the rig and then put a PVC pipe through it and pull down and raise my knee up, but, like,
Oh,
keep
nice.
my core in. But I could feel my core, like, if I were to just get like, my heart rate were to be super high and I were just to get lazy, like, I
Right.
could be like, stick out my stomach and, like, pull down, and now, like, my lats are working and my core is pushing out, like, it is so easy to let that happen. So, like, I have to think
Mhm.
about it, like, you
Yep.
have to think of those things,
Are you
and
doing
it's
with one
almost
leg or both
harder,
legs?
so, like, I'm standing up like
Oh,
this.
okay, standing. Okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I probably have a video of it somewhere, archives, 'cause just video everything, um but and that's another reason why I video everything because I wanna make sure my core is in control, like,
Exactly.
people
Yeah,
everybody's always like, "Why do you video your workouts?" And I'm like, "Because I have to see, like, if I'm in control, and nobody's gonna tell me, you're not gonna tell you probably don't even know what it looks like." Like,
yeah,
so I
I
have
know.
to make sure for myself that I am in control. But yeah, I
'Cause, and that's the thing is because like, sometimes you can be like, "Oh, I had that. I was definitely doing that," and then you watch the footage back and you're like, "I wasn't doing
dude,
that at all."
me with my squat today, I should probably show you the video. As a matter of fact, I am going to, because I was squatting and I was like, "Man, those felt so good." And then I watched my video back and I was like, "Was I even using my glutes? Like, were my glutes turned on at all?" Because, Lord, you were butt weaking. And then I did is this the video? No, that's not it. I did, the next set, I was like, "I'm not we're fixing this right now." I'm just gonna go to the really bad one. I think it's this. Yep, right here. I don't know if you guys could see it.
Yep.
Well, I thought it was really bad. Didn't look that bad there.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Oh,
Maybe it wasn't this video. I know I did it though. I was like, "Ay, ay, ay." Let's see. Any of these? Well, that one didn't look bad.
yeah, I don't know.
Um, well, I thought I did it in a video. There was a video where I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
girl,
I'm not
no."
really seeing a butt wink there.
I swear it was there.
Okay.
But
Is the
I
butt
watched
wink
it
in the
back.
room with us right now?
Are you present? But that's why you watch yourself and you find those
Yeah.
things that you do, and then you, like, hone in on that and make it whatever. But, and my other thing was, like, I was trying to debate, with myself is like, does she know and she just doesn't care?
I
Or
kinda don't I don't know.
or does she not know that like coning is a thing like that? But my other thing is like if she was like Annie Thor's daughter, I mean, I know that they're they're a part of the top CrossFit community, right? Like top CrossFitters. And Annie Thor's daughter has talked about it being an
Yeah.
issue because people have said it to her, and she's talked about how she works on her core, even though okay, I don't need to do an official apology, but even though she still needs to work on it. But so I'm like, if you have if you paid attention to anybody else other than yourself, you would know that this is an issue
Right.
amongst moms.
Yeah,
And the
but
other person that has talked about it is Cara Saunders, and they're both from Australia, so she should have paid attention to her too.
okay, and what did Cara Saunders do you remember what she said about it?
So in her first pregnancy, and this was like a deep dive when I couldn't sleep. So all you pregnant moms that can't sleep, go on Instagram and deep dive into somebody or TikTok. TikTok does it too. But speaking of TikTok, it's gonna be my hot take when we get
Oh, okay.
yeah at the end. But the she had said that when she was pregnant with Scotty, which I love that name,
I know, so
um,
cute.
she would I don't know if she used the word coning, but she said that it was putting a lot of pressure on her core when she would do push-ups.
Oh, okay.
And
Another
so
form
then
of
this time
movement,
around, now that she's back to working out again, because that's a whole other thing. She had to take time off. She took like 6 weeks off of working out, um, because of she thought the baby wasn't going to make it and stuff like that. And so she's newly pregnant also. Um, but so she said that this time around she knows like what to look for and she knows what things feel like, and it's easy for her to pay attention. And because she focused so much on that when she had Scotty and was pregnant with Scotty, and then after she had Scotty, she's not doing it as bad with this one.
yeah.
So it's like I said,
Yeah,
like, you're just more aware of certain
right.
things. But I just love her right now. I just love her right now.
Yes,
Oh,
I
I
I
watched her
feel like she
YouTubes.
does exemplify the way I think I would approach that situation, and I
Yeah.
agree. I'm just, like, loving her vibe right now.
And I loved her when she was pregnant with Scotty. I loved her after. I loved her comeback journey. I was so happy for her. And then this kid, I guess long story short, she didn't know the kid was gonna make it to or she was gonna make it to the second trimester. They had told her she was be prepared um for
That's
bad
so
news at your
scary.
next ultrasound. And basically like take it easy and don't do anything like strenuous and whatever. And so she didn't work out for like 4 to 6, I don't remember the exact, but 4 to 6 weeks. She didn't work out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I could not even
Mhm,
imagine feeling like that.
mhm,
And literally being pregnant is like a waiting game because you find out you're pregnant and you don't even get your first doctor's appointment till a month and a half, maybe 2 months later. Like,
right.
so it's like a waiting game and you don't know, like you don't know.
Yeah, and
Like,
there's, like, certain things, right? Like, every appointment that get cleared where it's like, okay, like, baby doesn't have, like, this genetic condition and,
yeah.
like, all these things where you start to get, like, okay, like, closer and closer
You
to the
there's
day and
always something to worry about. Even at Aria, like the newborn comes and then it's like, oh, they could have SIDS and they could die in their sleep, like whatever. So then now you're worried about that. And then they get older. Now they're gonna choke to death. Or
yeah.
like it's just like you're always worrying about
I
something and
remember
that's just
always being worried about
life.
Valerie's kids choking.
Dude, Aria choked the other day. I shouldn't
Oh,
laugh. It wasn't
no.
I mean, Dennis is he was on it, but like
Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh. It's not I mean, it's funny now, but at the time I was like, you okay, dude?
But
Like
it is kinda I mean, that's you just stay cool and you get it fixed, and usually it's, like, kinda okay.
she wanted to go play. We were outside and she wanted to play, but she was eating a snack. She was eating mango, and she, like, shoved the whole, like, piece of mango in her mouth,
Same,
and so
sis.
she was chewing it and she was like, "Play," like, trying to say "play" at the same time,
Oh,
and
poor
so she
girl.
tried to, like, swallow it, but it was
No,
like a
no.
long piece, so she's, like, gagging,
Ugh.
and then so she, like, stuck her hand in her mouth to, like, pull it out and, like, Dennis, and she's like, she literally was like making throw up sounds. And Dennis is like, it's all right. And he's like, what? And
Yeah,
like
got her.
goes flying and he's like, it's all right. And I was just like sitting there like, because I've been in a situation where she's like choked like that.
Yeah.
I was like standing there and I'm like, dang, he actually handled it like super calm, like
Good
didn't freak
Dennis.
out.
Yeah.
But like it is scary. Like she's like making these like throw up noises and like nothing's coming out. Like finally she pulled this like long mango out of her mouth. Like
God,
yeah.
what a relief though when it's all over.
Well, then she was like, "Play," and I'm like holding this like mango because she like just dropped it in my hand, and I'm like holding
Ew.
like half chewed up mango, like all
Oh
slimy
my
in my
god.
hand. I'm like, "Yeah, go play. You earned it with that one." Like, where's the trash can? But yeah, 'cause you're just always worried about stuff. It just makes me like so sad that like I said, it comes back to like the whole CrossFit thing. Like these people are like idolizing like bad form. They're idolizing this pregnant woman that like I don't know. And then I saw that like, did you see her story recently? Um, some she some girl that was like 30 something weeks tagged her and she was doing cleans with like a barbell. And I'm just like watching this girl with a belly,
Yeah.
like no shade against her because I probably sound like a big old like B word. But like no shade against people, pregnant women that are working out. Like I want you to work out. I want you to be healthy. I want you to like move. I feel good when I work out. And like it is a flex to be healthy and work out. Like I get it. But do it like smart and do it right and do it with in a way that's going to benefit you and be healthy for you and the baby. And don't put anything at risk. So I'm watching this girl work out and I'm like, great, you're 34 weeks somewhere around there pregnant, but you're doing barbell cleans. Your stomach is big. So now you're compromising your form and bringing the barbell like around. Like, is that worth it? Like,
Well, you know what it
I don't
reminds
know.
me of? Okay, it kind of reminds me of I don't even know what year. This is probably like 2017 era CrossFit Games, Brent Fikowski. Where
Oh,
like or anybody who gets like injured, not to say that pregnancy is an injury, but you have options when you get injured. And one of those options is to take what you can do and like use the opportunity of the injury to work to fill a hole in your game. Because if you are honest with yourself and you look at yourself, you will find not only one hole, you'll find many holes to fill.
yeah.
Like, and you can definitely find one that's going to work well with your current set situation.
Yeah.
Or you could push it and you could run through your broken ankle or whatever and make, you know, compensations and develop bad habits and like create other, not like difficulty for yourself later, not to mention potential, probably not, hopefully, difficulty with your pregnancy, but like just the whole thing. It's like, so you could take the opportunity to
Mhm.
like we're
Mhm.
saying with the core thing or like anything. I promise you, like everybody's got something they could work on that would respect, like
Yeah.
not pushing
And
it the
like,
way you normally would.
what is the harm in doing like a dumbbell clean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching you do this clean right now. You're cutting it short because you're not getting full extended. Because if you did, now that barbell is hitting like literally your hip bone where
Belly,
your
yeah.
belly is. So you're
Mhm.
not getting fully extended. Your arms are coming around. So like, what is the benefit of this? A,
Right.
and then B, it's like, okay, just do a dumbbell.
Yeah. It's like use your
And
brain.
yeah, and I'm not saying anything. Like if you want to go deadlift, by all means, if you have perfect form and you're deadlifting great at 34 weeks pregnant, then do it.
Yeah.
Yes, because you like your form isn't compromised. But if you are compromising your form because you're pregnant, then you probably shouldn't do that movement. Or if like it's putting your body in a bad position because you're pregnant because you can't do it correctly, then just don't do the movement. Do something. There's something else you could
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
Like box jumps. I know box jumps get my heart rate up. Plus, I'm not trying to like really worry about tripping and falling, even though I haven't done it like with regular box jumps. Like that's and
Right.
like I don't trip and fall regularly. But also, like, what's the point? Like, okay, I could keep my heart rate. I am getting a good workout. I promise you, I'm still getting my heart rate up during a
Yeah.
step up. Like, and my step ups are not just like regular step ups; or like aerobic step ups. So, like, you can make it as hard as you want and as beneficial to you as you want it to be. And lifting is great. Like, just straight up lift. Some days I go in there and I'm like, I just don't feel like flopping around. Cause let me tell you, shit gets bigger, everything gets bigger, your boobs get big, everything just gets bigger. And it doesn't feel great to be jumping around like that. Like
Yeah.
people are like, you could still run. I'm like, yeah, I know I could still run. Running is great. I don't knock the people that still run. But when you got big old tits like mine and they're flopping around and a sports bra's not containing them, it doesn't feel great. Like it
Oh
just
my
doesn't.
god.
So like I don't do it.
Yeah. Facts. You're doing this to feel good. You're not doing this to flop around and not feel good.
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm not gonna do anything and also working out, like, for some people is already hard enough to get to the gym
Yeah.
without being pregnant. Like, it's already a
Right.
struggle to, like, show up every day and do it without being pregnant. So, like, make it fun. This should be fun for you. This should be like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I just got done. That was a good
Remember
workout."
this time in your life, like, and can enjoy the moment. Don't be like just trying to get
Yeah.
back to your normal routine.
Yeah, and it is that is hard. That's what I had just said. My client had just asked me the other day, like, what am I going to do different postpartum this pregnancy than what I did last pregnancy? And I told her that last pregnancy, I knew it was going to take some time. I just know my body. I know it was going to take some time to lose the weight, especially like if I'm nursing and I know it's going to take a while, but I am going to be more patient than I was last time. Because last time I tried to take it as slow as possible, but it is hard when you don't, like, recognize your own body and,
Yeah, well,
like, I
it's
just wanna be
another
back.
thing about, like, the second kid, right? Because now you were probably so frantic to, like, prove to yourself even that you could have what you had back in a way, like,
Mhm.
and now you know that you can do that and more, and so you don't have
Yeah,
that, like, pressure feeling. You're just like, "Okay, let's give yourself some grace," which
yeah.
is always a good move. When in
Uh,
doubt, give yourself some grace, like
because there was, like, postpartum, I think I tried to start, like, doing my macros again at, like, 3 months, and then it was like a
yeah,
mind game because like, my milk stopped, and then it was
right,
like, "Okay, well, I'm not eating enough of this, so I gotta eat more of that," and it was like, just if your main goal right now is to keep your kid alive, like, okay, you look a little bit fluffy right now, and it's just I mean, I look back on those pictures and I don't love them,
yeah,
but I'm like, also I was keeping a kid alive and I was surviving being a mom of, a 2-month-old, like,
right.
God, like, it's just hard, and, like,
It
now I'm gonna have
is.
a 2-year-old and a newborn, like, it's gonna
Yeah,
be even harder, but it's like, I have the rest of my life to get back to where I was, so, like, I'm gonna
yeah,
take the time that I need and just be okay with being where I'm at, and if that is just a little bit thicker,
yeah.
then I'm just gonna
And in the
enjoy
grand
that for a little
scheme of
bit.
things, like, 3 months, I mean, it goes by so fast
Yeah,
when it's all over. I'm sure the days feel long in a way, but
yeah. Well, the
you'll
first trimester of this one, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I'm never gonna get out of it," and now I'm out of it, and I'm like, "Well, it wasn't that I mean, it was
okay.
bad, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
it wasn't like, it wasn't like something that I wouldn't ever do again." Like,
Yeah,
it goes
you made
by and
it.
you're like, "Okay."
Yeah, yeah, so
Same
cool.
thing like childbirth. I mean,
Well, I'm
I'm still
so
like,
excited that the secret's out and that we all get to be so excited for baby Fernandez number 2.
number 2. We'll wait to find out what it is.
Um, okay, well, should we talk do some hot takes?
Yeah, okay.
Because I
I have, like,
wanna
a couple. Maybe
yeah,
they're
and then
not hot
we're
takes,
gonna
but
have
maybe they're just, like, topics that we need to talk
let's talk,
about.
let's talk.
First of all, Gwyneth Paltrow's case.
Yes.
Ah,
At first, everybody was very much against her because I think she came off I think, like, her baseline in a lot of ways was very unlikable to people, and but the more they heard and the more that, like, they got, like, more of a taste, like, towards the end of her testimony, I think really set it different, and now that they're hearing more stuff, like, from the plaintiff side and they're hearing how ridiculous he sounds,
yeah,
which I
oh,
love when
yeah.
that happens, I'm like,
Oh, yeah, me
"This is such
too.
a dumb case," but this is my favorite thing about the judicial system is, like, it really shows you people's true colors, like, they really cannot hide it's really tough, you'd have to it's so hard to hide your true colors, like, in a court
Yeah,
case like this. I
yeah,
love it.
my whole thing is, like, I love how, like, calm she is and how just, like, she just sounds like like she just sounds so prepared when
Yeah, and
she
she just
talks.
sounds like somebody who's telling the truth.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what happened.
Yep. So I love that about her. Um, but I haven't seen him. I only watched her. I haven't seen him, but I saw some TikToks of him speaking. Bro, I was like, hold on, is this fake? Like,
Yeah, I know.
real?
He's just a
And then
little
my favorite is like when the attorney was like asking her questions about like him running into her, and she was like, like just like, well, he ran into me, like,
yeah.
like how did what? Um, okay, but what are your thoughts about like the dollar thing? Because that was like a whole thing on TikTok too. People were talking about that like dollar thing
Yeah, I mean,
about
I feel like she's just doing it for the principle of the matter, and I'm petty, so I like it.
me too. I'm here for it. They're like trying to be like, well, you're friends with Taylor Swift. Did you get the idea from Taylor Swift? And I'm like, bitch, I had that idea too. Like,
Yeah, and plus it doesn't matter where she got her idea from, like, she was
yeah,
inspired and she did it, and I think it's cool, and I also think that, like, just because you're a celebrity and you have a privileged life doesn't mean you're not entitled to justice, and that's, like,
right.
the moral of the story, so
Right. And also like they were like, "Oh, it looked like you had an expensive day." And I'm like, "It's
yeah, I know,
what did you think she was just going to be
I
with us
know.
peasants?" Like,
Yeah, and it's like, what did you think this doctor dude didn't have an expensive day?
yeah.
He was out there skiing, he's not poor.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um but yeah, I am I don't know. Uh,
People are
I
loving to
just
hate Gwyneth Paltrow. I brought this up at birthday dinner with at Valerie's birthday dinner last night in front of my whole family, and both Danny and Jake were so quick to be like, "Fuck Gwyneth Paltrow.
why? What were the
She's
reasonings?
lying, she's Me Tooing, she's claiming sexual assault, it's just
No, hold on.
bullshit."
If your
I
legs
know,
get
I know.
they're
I
not
tried to
women.
I set him straight, but then
They're not
Valerie
women.
had to cut me off because she didn't want me talking about the whole incident in front of the kids. I don't know.
The essay like on TikTok when they're like,
Essay.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
the essay or like the what is it
Yeah,
called?
so but yeah, but I was kind of surprised, and I was also a little bit surprised, like I'm always in the comments seeing what people are saying, like, while it's happening, and the first, like, 5 days ago, people were, like, talking all this shit about GP, and now that, like, they've seen her testimony, they've gotten, like, to see more of her, they're like, "Oh, fuck this guy, like, I can't believe this trial is even in court right now, like, this is embarrassing and a joke."
That was my thought too. For like without even seeing him though, I was like, why are like what a waste of time. But also, okay, speaking of court, I do have to go to court in a little bit for an incident. Maybe when it's over, we'll talk about it. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But stay tuned because I do have to go to court and we're doing a trial. Like they have to pick a jury. It's like a whole thing. But um I realized that this incident happened like a really long time ago,
Yeah.
like a while ago too. And the same thing with my incident happened like a while ago. And I was like really pissed that like it took this long to like go to court. And then I
Yeah.
was like watching this case and I'm like, well, foot in mouth now, like right now, because if Gwyneth Paltrow has to wait, just like all this peasants out here, then we have to wait. Like, and like you
Yeah.
said, it is the
Judicial.
judicial system that people get to see firsthand, where it's like not everybody goes to court and has to go to trial and gets in front of a jury or even did like a grand jury.
Yeah.
How many people have done a grand jury before? How many people have been called to do jury duty and have been picked and been a part of this process? Like, not very many people.
Really?
So I've never
Oh.
got picked. Also, the one time that I had went, it was like a thing about cops, and so it was like,
Oh.
"Is there any reason why you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of biased here. Can't do it." um, but yeah, and then the other time I got out of jury duty because I was like away at college, and they sent it to my parents, and so my parents are like, "Well, she's like in
She ain't here.
Texas." Yeah, so um, yeah, but like I don't think a lot of people have been picked to do jury duty.
Maybe
I
not
don't think
picked, I guess, yeah.
or maybe they've been picked, maybe they have gotten called to do jury duty, but
Right.
to be picked.
Selected for a jury and sat in a
Yes.
trial and, like, done all
Yep,
that.
yep.
Yeah, I
And
guess
and
you
realize, like, how intense it can be, like, a murder case, like,
yeah.
something intense like that, or, like, I don't know.
Well, and
I
it really is just, like, it is just you all gather and you agree to civilizedly discuss this, like, thing that happened and everybody is super passionate about, but you're gonna act with order because the judge fucking said so,
yeah,
and you're gonna split hairs. You're just gonna have to defend your story. You're gonna, like it's just I love all of it. I love watching the, like,
um,
minute minute stuff of just, like, watching everybody do their thing in this, like, system. It's very
but
human.
that's what I'm saying, like, how many people have been a part, like, actual
I
physical
guess not
being
many, I don't know, I never thought of
part?
that.
Well,
Yeah,
but okay, so I used to think it was, like, a lot. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, everybody's done this," and, like, my dad, grew up law enforcement, so, like, I'm like, "This is like a" people as I'm getting
yeah,
older, I'm like, people don't really understand how a subpoena works. Like, people don't understand that you cannot just say
yeah,
no. Like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
have to go. People don't understand that you can't just turn down jury duty. Like,
yeah,
it's not like a voluntarily, like, option of, yeah, I can make it, or no, like,
yeah,
that's not how that works. Or, like, you being picked to be a juror. Like,
yeah.
I don't, that's probably like uncomfortable. I've never been picked, so I don't know. But, like,
I literally loved every single second of it so
did you get in
much.
fights with people? Like, could you, like, it would be like, did you be like, my opinion is this? Like, no, like,
Like, in the deliberation?
uh-huh,
Oh, yeah.
uh-huh.
Oh, completely. Completely. Apparently, I have this, like, a whole attitude, like, I
No, as you're apologizing to Selena Gomez,
I
and now we're
literally
about to
okay, I just had this guy, in the gym, like, working on his shoulder, that, like, he came to see me or whatever. He doesn't live here, but he was in town, so he came through to see if I could help with his shoulder. And we'd been, like, talking on Instagram, but I had no clue, like, where I knew this person from. Like, I knew him, like, I knew I met him in real life at some point, but I could never have told you when it was. Well, apparently it was freshman year of college at UNR stats class, my very least favorite class at UNR with, like, this girl I used to hang out with, and he remembered. So I was like, "Okay." He also remembered. He literally told me, he was like, "Yeah, I don't know, back then you just had this, like, kinda attitude about you."
no, nothing's changed.
Like that if I said the wrong thing, you were gonna, like, attack me or some I don't know, something. I was like, "Wow, me? Me?"
Do you remember him though? Like, when he was like, "Yeah, we had stats together," like, were you like, "Oh," or were you
Like, oh,
still
I was
like
like, "Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense."
he's like, "We had stats together. You drive an orange Mustang. You work out at blah, blah, blah." Like, he stalked your life.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
no,
okay, uh-huh.
anyway, yes, I was fighting for my side in the deliberation. I wanted to make a point, like, with the dollar. Like, I wanted to give
Yeah,
him 0, the guy who, like, came in, like, the plaintiff. I wanted to give him 0. I could have had him pay the kid, I would have had him pay the kid, but
and were the people like, "No,"
they
like,
did not wanna they wanted him to get something. It was like that he ended up with, like, the bare like, a tiny fraction of what he, like,
yeah,
wanted. It was still pretty
h
good, but it wasn't what I would have chosen.
yeah. How
And I
did you
told
end
him
up
that after, "You can
deciding?
wait after, like, the court when it's over and you can talk about it," like, so the judge was like, if any of the jurors wanna, like, talk to any of us, you can wait outside the courtroom." So I sure as hell did.
I know,
And the lawyer came up to me from the other side and was like, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "I would have given you less." Flat
oh,
out, flat
perfect, I love
out.
it.
And he
D
still gave me his card.
he's all, "Yeah, you need a lawyer? You look like somebody." "No, sir, I'm gonna represent myself."
Yeah.
Um, I'm well versed in this. Um, but, like, I was, like, talking to my dad because I was like, I've never been picked or whatever, so, like, he was, like, telling me, he's like, well, we were talking about the Murdaugh
Yeah.
trial, and so he was like, "Oh, I thought it was gonna be, uh, I thought they were gonna take longer, or, like, I really thought, like, it was whatever," and he was, like, saying how, like, was it Nancy Grace or somebody was like, "Oh, yeah, that one juror was, like, not even paying attention, and this person was," and I was like, "But how can you," like, they pick the lawyers pick, right?
Mhm.
The jury people, um, and then it's kind of like I mean, can you make yourself look, like, unpresentable? Like, can you just, like, sit there like,
Like, as a
I don't know
juror?
anything?
Like, can you
Yeah,
look like you don't wanna be there? Yes, and, like, the selection process is, like, they made every single one of us, like, introduce ourselves, like, and
yeah,
say something, and then they would come through and ask us, like, questions too,
questions,
so,
yeah. See, I
and
got
every
eliminated, like, first round because it was, like I
well,
said,
and
with
that's
TikTok, and
lots
they're
of
like,
people just flat out said, like, "I have a job, like, I'm trying to leave, like, right now, this is like, I have to go." Um, and I was trying to, like, emanate energy that I desperately wanted to be a part of this jury.
"Don't even pay me. I will show up." Like,
Yeah.
I don't have a
Like,
job.
pick me energy, like
Oh my gosh, I love that though, because how many people would be so scared, like, "Don't pick me, like, I don't know, like, I
No,
don't wanna do
I was like, I was here, let's do this, like, let's hear it. Games in person is my favorite thing to do, like
I know, I
and
know, and
I was so into it, I cried at the end, it was a traffic
oh
violation.
my gosh, oh my gosh, imagine being on, like, a real like,
I know.
a murder trial,
I know.
like a robbery gone wrong or, like, something, like, that's
Like
so
a really
crazy.
good one that goes
Yeah,
on for weeks, like, this was like a
forever, yeah.
one-day thing, imagine, I would love to get called back for,
Well,
like, a week-long
ours is
trial.
mine's gonna go on for a while, well, like, 2 weeks is what they said, but then, like, he kinda told me, like, the timeline of things, and at least for sure, at least, like, a week and a half, like, once they get through, like, all
I've
the
been
witnesses
watching
and
all the
everything.
people in the back of Gwyneth Paltrow's trial, and they're, like, all so very entertained. That's gonna be me at yours.
I know, and the
Also, I will
bad thing is,
say, for
like,
the most part, I really liked GP's court outfits.
see, and I'm like, "What should I wear? What should I gotta channel this, like,
I feel like
little,
I
like,
she's giving
black
the
outfit
row,
with, like,
yeah.
the"
Uh-huh.
yeah, and then there dude, my favorite was the, Dahmer glasses. People threw so much shade, and I was like, "I have those.
I
Should I
know.
wear them
I know.
wear them to court?"
Okay, so but wait, because
Crazy.
didn't you say you had, like, another hot take from TikTok?
Oh, yeah. Would it I don't know if it's a hot take, but it was definitely a discussion about TikTok getting banned. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I don't know too much about it. I know that Congress talked about it, and I know that in Utah, it's outlawed if you're under 18.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
all social
Um,
media or just TikTok?
I think it's social media. I think all social media, which I train a couple high school kids. I haven't seen them yet, so I'm gonna say, like, "What are you doing now?"
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Under the
there's
table
this new
TikTok. Dude, can you
thing
believe weed is legal and fucking
TikTok.
MySpace isn't?
Yeah. Well, so there's this new thing called Be Real. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yeah,
So I wonder, is that considered social media?
probably.
So I'm gonna ask when I train them. I think I might see them tomorrow unless they cancel. They love to go to like the school events, which I get because they're
Yeah,
16. But if I see them tomorrow, I'm gonna ask them like, "What are you guys doing now without social media? Like,
yeah,
do you just
exactly.
change your little birth date on the thing?" And
Yeah,
like,
yeah, under the table
um,
social media. Oh my god.
yeah. But my dad was like, my dad was like telling because he had like the like hearing on it
Okay,
on TV. Um, and so he was like, "Do you think do you think China's stealing all of our information?" And I was like, "1,000%. There's no way that I
of
could say
course,
something and then it just pops up on my TikTok, like, a million things, like, just will pop up
of
about
course. But
whatever I just said."
so is I mean, all the American ones are too.
Everything. Everything is still everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
mean,
so he
China's
was
probably
like,
worse, like, we probably would that's not good either. That's real
"Yes."
you know, it's
Oh, well,
happening.
then so my dad was all, "Okay, so you're part of the problem." I was
Oh.
like, "So I'm not posting anything on TikTok, like, I haven't posted anything in a while." But I was like, "People are going off, like, on Tik have you been on TikTok?" And then this is the other reason why I think I keep getting these
Yeah,
things about people going off is because I was my dad and I were talking about it. So now it's all over my TikTok.
yeah.
But some people like Dennis hasn't seen one thing about it.
I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. Dennis
Oh.
actually, sometimes Dennis posts stuff that I get on my For You page. I'm like, "Okay, Dennis, I see you."
He posted something the other day and I was like, "Oh, shut up." It was about the women or whatever, like the horoscope thing.
Oh, yeah, I know. I
It was
liked
like
it.
men men will let a football game ruin their life, and then it's like, yeah, and women will let a horoscope dictate their life. I'm like, "You wanna fight? You wanna fight." Your fighting
Oh my
words.
god.
Um, so have you got off TikTok though? Are you still on it?
No, I mean, I TikTok is, like, maybe my number 1 guilty pleasure, like, I love TikTok. I love my For You page is so good. It's it's
Mine kind of
just
sucks right now.
mine never
Mine is
disappoints.
mine is like all pregnancy right now. And I'm like, just go. I want like the funny shit. Like I'm not
Yeah, my
I
Instagram is horrible.
I want the
The
funny shit.
Instagram
I
algorithm
TikTok.
this is my hot take right now. The Instagram algorithm can suck my entire dick because I hate it so much. I'm so done with seeing it's like ads. Every other post is
Yeah.
an ad. And it's all
Hmm.
people I don't follow. I want my page to be the people that I follow in the order that they post
Right.
it, and that's literally it.
Yeah. I
I'm
know.
pissed at Instagram.
I like Instagram because Instagram was like I was like a OG first user whenever Instagram first came out. I used to use it for filters on my
Yeah,
pictures before it was like a posting thing.
yeah.
And then it like became popular and people started adding me and I was like, how does this work? But okay, I like Instagram. So I'm like a OG. I'm
I
probably
know, it
like,
was so good then.
yeah, I'm probably like the moms with Facebook. You know how my mom is like on
Yes.
Facebook, like it's their job. Like
Yeah,
that's me with Instagram.
yeah,
And I'm that mom. But my TikToks just sucks right now. Like I have to like search for something good or to make the For You page be a little bit better because it is
yeah,
not happening. It's like all about pregnancy and I'm like I want something else. I'm trying to escape right now. Like
yeah,
give me something
yeah.
good,
What
like
else can we think about?
yeah, give me something like fashion. I don't know, something like
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. But okay, what other things we haven't spoke hot takes or hot anything in a
I
while.
know, but I don't know if I can think of any more.
I think that's
We're
it. Pretty much we just covered it
yeah.
all.
Yeah, we could wrap that up there, and we're happy to be back on the podcast, and, we'll probably be back soon, hopefully, for another one.
Maybe, yeah, maybe we could do it together while I'm there.
Oh,
I
yeah,
say that
watch
every
The
time,
Whale.
but yeah, her reaction. I wonder how long the movie is.
I think it's, like, an hour and a half.
Let me see. Um, I really thought he got fat.
Well, I mean, he's not George of the Jungle anymore, but
George. I forgot about the movie. Oh my god. Where is it? Okay, The Whale. IMBD. It got good stars.
I know. I think it's a good movie.
7.8 out of 10. Oh, I really feel like I have to watch this now,
How long
but
is
I'm
it?
just trying to see how long it is. Well, the trailer is a minute and 51 seconds. What is it on Netflix?
No, I think we probably have to, like, rent it or buy it or something. It's, like, in the theaters, isn't it?
Dennis will do it. Dennis will figure it out. So, Rotten Tomatoes, no. I movie. Let's see. The Whale. Free Willy came up. So. Oh, it came out in December. It probably is not
Yeah, guess you're right.
in the movies anymore.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's on Amazon. You
Oh,
could buy
okay.
it. Let's see how long it is. An hour and 57 minutes.
Oh. Well, that's good for The Whale because my cutoff is 2 hours. I don't watch movies that are 2 hours or longer unless it's Lord of the Rings.
Oh, to buy it is it 20 doll hairs.
20 doll hairs? Can we rent it?
Yeah, you could rent it for 6.
That's a big ask, but I'll do it.
I
It'll be
know.
fun. We'll watch it. We'll get snacks.
Yeah, that will be
All
fun.
right.
Okay.
Well, until speaking of snacks,
Yeah, I know. I am gonna need one before our next meeting.
but until the next episode, you are not hungry. You're bored.
Close the fridge. Bye.